Now, the next thing that was very convincing to me was Semyasi came back from a meeting one time when Lee and I were there in the household again, as we often were. And Billy came back, and by now we knew not to try to follow it. We just wait until the contact was over and he'd come back. This time he came back with a note for Lee and I from Semyasi. And this note said, if you only knew what is taking place in room name so-and-so in hotel so-and-so in downtown Zurich, you would be surprised. Then she proceeded to tell us that in that room, name so-and-so in such and such a hotel, served by a waiter by a particular name that was the only waiter that was allowed into the room at that time of the meeting, that she said that this was a very highly classified side meeting of the SALT II negotiations going on in Geneva at the same time. So Lee and I looked at each other and said, oh, here's another one we can check. We jumped in the car, drove down to Zurich looking for that hotel. Sure enough, it's a pretty good-sized hotel in downtown Zurich in the official district. And they had a room by the name we were looking for. We asked about a certain bellboy. There was a bellboy by that name working there. We wanted to talk to him. We asked him if he was serving a room with 4 men in it. He said yes. And we said, what room? And he gave us the name that we were looking for. And he said, but I can't get you in there. He says, I'm the only one here that's allowed to go in. So we said, well, we've got 4 names of participants, and we showed him our slip of paper with the 4 names on it and asked him if they had name cards. He thought they did. And we said, we'll hang around here till you called in there again for some reason, or till you go in to serve whatever's going on. See if you can get a look at any of the name tags. And we waited about an hour and a half, and finally he got in there again, took something in, and came back out. He said, yeah, he said, there, I could see 2 name tags, and they look very much like those names you've got there. And he pointed to the 2 of the names. So Semyasi had told us that the discussion there, what was taking place, was attempting to negotiate an agreement between the Russian government and the United States government to withhold UFO information from their respective populaces for certain reasons of the governments. And they were going to agree for both sides to withhold information from public knowledge. And we could see how much real information we got out of the government here. So that we followed the terms of the agreement pretty well, and I believe the Russians did too. But that was, Semyasi gave us the names of the hotel and the place and time and everything else, and that was a little bit convincing.